Hello everyone. That today we are going to discuss about algorithm analysis. In last lecture we have seen about what is data structures. Data structures means are organizing the data in some structurized format. You can say that we have seen what are the linear data structures, non-linear data structures. Linear means we are arranging all the data elements in a linear format, and coming to the non-linear data structures means that may be like a graph format or hierarchical structure, nodal structure. So there are different two types of data structures that we have discussed in the last lecture. So we have seen the examples also coming to the linear data structures, arrays, stacks and queues, and coming to the non-linear data structures we have discussed the examples like a graph and tree data structures. So today we will see what is algorithm analysis. We all know that we require to write algorithms before any implementation of any code. So what we have to do, if we are writing the algorithm, which one is best, which one gives you the optimal thing? So all these things that we need to discuss, and we need to compare the things, so then only we can come up with the best algorithm. So here not only writing the algorithm, we need to calculate the performance of that particular algorithm. So that we are going to discuss in today's lecture. Let's discuss. Before that, let's discuss what is an algorithm. So, coming to this one, you can see in this picture, we require input and how you are going to implement and what is your output of your algorithm. So we require three components, major components. Suppose for example, I'll give you the simplest example for better understanding of an algorithm. If I would like to add two numbers, so what is the input over here? Two numbers are my input. Let us say like 5 plus 10. So 5 and 10 are the input. And then coming to the algorithm, what is your algorithm over here? Here you need to add those things, add those two numbers. So your algorithm is addition, arithmetic operation, addition. And coming to the output, suppose 5 plus 10, your output will be 15. So in this way we segregate, we write the algorithm. We require the major three components: input, algorithm, and then the output. Algorithm is nothing but your computational procedure, we can say. What are the steps that you going to perform to get the proper output? This is about the algorithm. We will see the proper definition of an algorithm. So algorithms are the ideas behind computer programs. If I want to write any program directly, I'll not go and write the program. First I'll write the layout of that software or the program. So the algorithms can be called as the ideas behind the computer programs. And next is, algorithm is any well defined computational procedure that takes some input value or set of values as input and produces some value which is nothing but the output. So this we have seen, we have discussed in the previous slide. So finally what we conclude, algorithm is a sequence of computational steps which transforms the input into the output based on some computational procedure. So let's see one example for algorithm. So if I am asking directions to somebody's house, is an algorithm. Yes, simplest thing in our day-to-day life we do this. So what is the input over here? I am asking the address of somebody's house. So this is my input, and algorithm is what? The person who is giving the details to you, and the output is that the particular location. So the another example here I have mentioned is recipe for cooking a cake. So you can see this one, what is an algorithm, the hi-fi terms and all, but nothing. Whatever we are doing in our day-to-day life, from that only, just we are transforming this scenarios into computational scenario with the help of computer science. That's it. This is nothing but your algorithm. So now, what is the program? I told that the ideas for the program. What is the program? Program is nothing but a set of instructions which the computer will follow to solve a problem. Suppose if I am asking you to switch on the fan. So what steps I'll be doing? I'll be moving next to the switchboard, and then I'll be switching it on, and then I'll see whether the fan is working or not. So step by step instructions to perform some task or to solve some problem is nothing but your program. So next. Okay, we know that these are the directly I'll not write a program. I'll go with the layout of the program, that is nothing but your algorithm. So why do we need this? Why do we need this algorithm analysis? As I told earlier in the start of the lecture, we are going to discuss about algorithm analysis. Why we want to analyze the things, whatever we have written. Yes, anyone can write any program in their own terms. Yes, they are getting using the input, they are getting the output, but the methodology may be different. But how can you say that the program is very good, this is efficient, or this is the inefficient? So how you will decide? So for that we need to analyze the program, we need to analyze the algorithm. So writing a program, working program is not good enough. See, you might have seen in the PPS lecture, in C programming lectures, writing the patterns, printing the patterns. You can recollect all those things, how you have used that. You might have used the two for loops. So two for loops, you have to pass the values input, and then you have to set the I value, how many times it has to iterate and all those things, right? But what happened when I asked the student to write the program in the lab, few students were not able to write. So what they did, they have used simple printf statements, and they have shown the exact pattern whatever I want. And you can say the output is, yes, same, exactly what we require, that only they are getting. But the program is wrong, the algorithm is wrong. Why? Because if I say that I want to increase in, if he has printed 5 lines of patterns, if I am asking him to increase it up to 10 lines, will it work? No. Again he has to write the printf statements that may be working for that set of numbers. If I cannot go keep on changing dynamically with the same output, with the same algorithms. So what is that thing? Your program may be inefficient. Whatever we required, how it has to the computational step we have to do, that may not be there, that may be missing. But you cannot say that I got the output and I am using the proper inputs and all. We need to look on the algorithms. Whatever the inputs, whatever the scenario that you are increasing or decreasing, your algorithm should work well. Your algorithm should be the best thing. So if the program is run on a large data set, then the running time becomes an issue. Okay, this is another thing, the analysis. If I have increased the input set, let us say that if I said addition of two numbers, okay fine, two input variables I am using. If I have increased that to 2000 variables, so the running time may be different. It will be taking the time to get the output. So at that time what will be happening that we need to concentrate on the running time. So this is the one scenario of analyzing your algorithm. Whatever the input data set it may be, your algorithm should work fine and it should give the result in small amount of time. And the next is what to analyze. Yes, we have seen that. Why do we analyze? Because it whether it is efficient or whether it is inefficient, whether it is working properly or not. And now it is like, what are the parameters that we need to consider while analyzing the algorithm? First thing is correctness, whether you are getting the input output. Proper inputs are used and then proper output you are getting with your computational procedure. And next is amount of work done, basic operations to do task, finite amount of time. And that's what I said, the large data set also it has to work efficiently. And one more thing, amount of space used, means how many number of variables that you are using, how much space you are utilizing to compute the algorithm. So this is a kind of space complexity, how much memory you have used, how much time you have used while running your algorithm. So these things we need to focus. For this we will be analyzing the algorithm. Along with this we also verify the simplicity and implementation details of an algorithm, and the final is whether your algorithm is optimal or not. Whatever the scenario, your algorithm should give the best results and it should fit. So whether it is better or not, so that we will be analyzing. Now from all these 5 parameters, we come to the conclusion we will be analyzing the algorithm, time complexity and space complexity. Time complexity means how much time your system takes to execute the algorithm. Even though if I am increasing the data set, input set, if I am working with the large data set, then also my algorithm should give effective amount of time. It should work within the less amount of time. That is my target. And next is space complexity. Space complexity means how much memory it has used. For this I'll give you one example. If I said addition of two numbers, few students will take two numbers only. They will take A and B variable and then they will add, perform addition, and then they store the output in the same A variable. Okay, fine. They are using only two variables. And some students are there, the same program they will be working with three variables. Let us say A, B for input and C for output. And some more students are there, they will perform addition and they will store the value in some other variable, and then from to show the print the output, they will assign into some other variable. They may be using n number of variables. So which one is best? How much amount of time that we have used, less amount of time and less amount of memory space. So basically while analyzing algorithm, we will be going for time complexity and space complexity. And these are the properties of an algorithm. Here you can see input. So what the algorithm takes as the input, and next is output. So if I am talking about the output, input, is it required for each and every algorithm should consist of input? It's my question. If you consider that only you want to display some messages, there is no need of input. Your algorithm will work fine with 0 or more inputs. And now coming to the output, what it produces, what your algorithm produces, that is your output. So in this output, what you will see means here each and every algorithm must contain at least one output, that is required, mandatory. And next is definiteness, means your steps should have the proper clarity, it should define precisely. Next is correctness, it should produce the correct output. And next is finiteness. Finiteness means the steps, the algorithm should end somewhere. It should not be like that it is moving, keep on moving, keep on moving. Suppose if you take any online shopping site, let us say Flipkart, you have chosen some products, you added in the cart, and then you are going for the payment, and again it is not showing that after the payment your order is placed successfully. Instead of that, again it is taking you to the same payment session only. Pay for this one. Will you pay for the second time? Definitely we will not. So somewhere your algorithm, your task has to get complete. This is nothing but finiteness. So this property is very important while writing the algorithm. And next is effectiveness. Each step must be able to performed in a finite amount of time. It should be effective. The effective results should be given. So these are the properties of an algorithm.